Bodie the Movie Maker here. This is a street lamp. I made it in Unreal Engine using free Quixel Mega Scan Assets, and I'm gonna show you how to do the same thing. Before we get going, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, god damn it. Do it. Do it now. Do it now! Like I said, we're gonna be using free assets to make this street lamp, light pole, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna make a few different variations. I needed a street lamp slash trail lamp. Same idea, same thing, so I made one myself. Let me show you how I did it. I tried out a few different designs and I settled on this one. But you might like something different, so let's try out a few things. First, drag and drop a cylinder onto your level. Adjust the size, rotation, and place it slightly underneath the landscape level. Now let's go to the Quixel bridge and get our first asset. That's going to be the rotten tree log texture. Download that at the highest quality, then open up your content drawer and bring in that texture. Oops, now we see that because I have stretched this cylinder to be really tall, it also stretches the material. So I'm sure there's some workarounds for this, but the way that I'm going to use right now is instead I'm going to make a shorter cylinder and then I'm just going to duplicate it a bunch of times, and I'm going to adjust each one so that the texture is not easily noticeable that it's replicating. So I'm rotating each one after I make a new cylinder section. And once I get enough sections of cylinder that it's tall enough, then I select all of them and move them down so that the bottom of the light pole is slightly underneath the landscape. Now, then we need a new cylinder. Place it at a right angle to the vertical cylinder, intersecting at the top. This is going to be the cylinder that goes out and holds our actual light. Now let's get our next Quixel bridge asset. It's going to be the pendant light. There's a few different options here. Choose the one you want, and then I went for nanite quality. You choose the quality you want to download the asset. I'm going with nanite for the highest possible quality. Then let's go get some more assets. Let's get electrical boxes. I chose this one and this one. Okay, let's bring those in. Open up your content drawer and bring in the electrical box. I like to just drag and drop it right onto the cylinder, because that way it's the least possible moving that I have to do to reposition it. Now reposition it to be up against the cylinder and about the right height, using our hazmat man as a reference. Now let's bring in the pendant light and again drop it right on the cylinder. That way you have the best likelihood of not having to move it very much. And then reposition it to get it to fit exactly where you want it. Now let's bring in a spotlight and position that directly under the pendant light. Hey, real quick, if you want to see how I animated this hazmat suit guy, check out my most recent video, how to make a control rig fast and animate skeletal meshes in Unreal Engine. The link should be up in that corner. Now let's get back to the tutorial. Let's adjust our directional light to make it nighttime so that we can see what we're doing with our spotlight. Let's bring up the intensity and adjust the inner cone angle and outer cone angle to get the desired lighting effect. And now let's check it out. What the hell is going on here with my static mesh? Get up, man. Hey there. Hey, are you sleeping? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop playing around, man. You're scaring me. Get up. Okay, let's show you how we can make this spotlight flicker, because in my horror film, we're gonna need some scary horror flickering lights. So click on the spotlight and then in the details panel, scroll down to light function, and then you'll see light function material is empty. Now I have two flickering light function materials to show you. Let's first take this simple one and drag it into the light function material slot. And now you can see we've got a basic flickering light. Ooh, ah. And now this is actually the second light function material, and it's slightly more complex flickering. So I'm going to show you both of those blueprints here. Screenshot this now. I'm not going to go into making this blueprint in this video. I'm going to make a separate video on how to make flickering lights, but for right now, just screenshot these blueprints and replicate them yourself. Sorry, you're on your own for this one. Now let's add a few more static meshes to our street light to give it some more detail. Let's add in another electrical box. Let's put it in, closer to the ground, and let's change the angle. We're kind of just kludging things together. We're kit bashing. We're having fun. Let's get another asset. Go to the Quixel bridge and type in bollard. There's multiple different types of bollards. So we're gonna get a granite bollard, yep, and we're gonna get a metal bollard. Let's bring in the granite and bring it right to the level of the landscape, and that kind of adds a base to our street lamp. Gives it some character. Let's reposition and resize it. Now we're kit bashing. We're cooking with gas now. All right, now bring in the metal bollard, and let's make it wider. Change the size. Again, I'm increasing the scale uniformly so that the material texture does not get stretched. So then let's position it so that it looks like it's just like a metal sheath around the wooden light pole, the base of it, and then we lower it a little bit. And so now we've kind of got some layers of detail, and you get to pick and choose what details you want, and that's it. Now, one issue is we're missing a light bulb. Our pendant light doesn't have a light bulb. It emits light, but there's no bulb when you look up in it, and that kind of looks funky. So bring in a sphere, reposition and resize it to about the size of a light bulb. Let's put it in the right spot. Now, let us go to the material section of the details panel, and I'm going to open my content drawer and type in emissive. I have an emissive material. I'm going to show you the blueprint on how to make that in a second. And we're going to add that emissive material into the material slot on the sphere. And what does it do? Now it emits light. Emissive material. Now, here's that emissive material. Very simple blueprint. Screenshot that, replicate that. But we have a bulb and we have a spotlight, but for some reason, the inside of our pendant light still looks dark. And that's because we need one more thing. We need to bring in a spotlight, which will illuminate the interior of the pendant light. We have light shining down, but we don't have any light shining back up into the actual pendant light, so it looks funky. Now with the spotlight, it looks real, okay? So adjust that, position that properly. Okay, now that we've got all the constituent parts of our light pole, let's change our perspective to top, and let's drag and select all of the static meshes that are involved in this pole, change our perspective back to perspective, and unselect the landscape and any foliage you might have selected. Now we have all of the different pieces of the light pole that we just created selected. Alternatively, you can go and shift and click every single static mesh if you want to do it that way. Right click and go down to group. Boom. Now all these static meshes are linked together in a group, and you can press Alt and drag out and easily duplicate this light pole as many times as you want. Voila, there it is. Super fast, simple, and free. Hey, let me know what you're gonna use your street light, trail light for. Is it a short film like I'm doing? Are you making a game? I wanna hear about it. Share it in the comments to inspire the rest of us. That's, after all, what this is all about. Hey, if you found this video useful, please don't forget to go hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified next time I put out a video. And if you want to learn more about the short film that I'm making and my novel, which the short film is based on, Northport 1999. Stop it, stop. God, you pervert. You can find me on social media. Please go follow. Would love to connect with you there. If you want to read the book and get access to a bunch of other exclusive content and early access content, including behind the scenes of the short film that we're making, consider signing up for the Patreon. For $5 a month, you get exclusive access to the book. You will get your name credited in the back of the book. The next 25 people who sign up for the Patreon will get a free copy of the book signed, sent to them in the mail when it is published. And it also just really helps me in making this short film and continuing to make cool videos like this. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.